Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Wednesday. Today is January 20th, 2021, and here is your channel update for this week. And the first thing let me do is recap the video that released this past week, which was Dominion for Beginners. It's the first in the beginner series, and it's a tutorial-based video for new players to get them up and running to be able to play the game Dominion. And I go over the card terminology, and I also show off the first few turns of the game so players can see some of the decisions that I would make based upon the cards that are in my hand. And then also I show off some of the synergy, the way the cards interact as they're going into players' decks and coming into play. So you're going to want to check that out. And for people who you think would benefit from watching Dominion for Beginners, please share the video with them. I'm sure they'll get something out of it. Now, in terms of videos releasing this week, I have a playthrough for the game Cubitos from Alderac Entertainment Group that is designed by John D. Clare. It's a racing game that's driven by dice, and it has a press your luck element. And I will be releasing my video at the same time as Dad versus Daughter, my friends over there, when they release their videos. And we're going to kind of share each other's videos over on Facebook. So kind of a little collaboration project there. I did a playthrough for mine. I think that they're doing a playthrough and a review. I will share my thoughts on Cubitos a little bit later on in this channel update. But that is going to be coming probably this weekend. All right, now in terms of what I'm working on, videos that are in production, I am working on the Ticket to Ride for Beginners video. That's the next one that I am tackling. And I will be using the Europe map because it will be easier for me to cover the tunnels and ferries in there. So make sure you keep your eyes open for that, or if you know some people that would benefit from a Ticket to Ride tutorial, you're going to probably want to share that with them as well. Ticket to Ride is probably my favorite game to play, and so I'm really excited to cover that one. Other videos that I'm working on, I'm still getting some resources together to do the Alice is Missing tutorial, so that's going to be coming in the next few weeks. And then one thing that I am pushing back on my production schedule is going to be the True Classics series for Uno. It is the 50th anniversary year for Uno, and I want to get my hands on one of the 50th anniversary decks. And they are, right now, the only thing that's available is a Walmart exclusive, and they are sold out, so I can't get my hands on one quite yet. So I'm probably going to push it back a couple months when product will be a little bit easier to get my hands on, because I do want to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Uno in that video. So that's going to be pushed back, so I'm going to shift some things around, and when I work on the True Classics series, you will see something else debuting in its place. And let's see, that's about it for what I'm working on. Oh, I am working on trying to figure out what the next game that I'm going to record for my playthrough series. I already have some stuff that's been uploaded to YouTube, and I just have to release it as I see fit. But I'm still kind of, it's a toss-up for a few games as to what I'm going to do for the next playthrough. So I will keep you up to date with that in our channel updates. Now, new games coming into the collection. I have a Dune Imperium behind me, and I got that in a trade, and so it arrived yesterday, and I am looking forward to learning the game, playing the game, and sharing it with you. A lot of things that have my interest in it is, number one, the designer who did it designed Clank. I really, really like Clank. And it also has the mechanics that I love. I love deck building, and I love worker placement. So I am looking forward to checking out Dune Imperium. And they do have like a solo option, which right now works for me due to COVID stuff. And I guess there's like an app that you can use along with it that helps take care of some of the bookkeeping. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure when that's going to be coming. Hopefully soon. All right, I think that that's pretty much the stuff that's going on behind the scenes and then what came into the collection. Now, let me shift gears and do like a gaming recap for this week. All right, so this past week I only got a chance to play one game, and that was Cubitos. I spent some time working on that, set up with different configurations, messed around with the game, and then I filmed the playthrough for it. Now, spoiler alert up front, Cubitos is no longer in my collection. In fact, I traded it away to get Dune Imperium. So the reason why I traded it is that to me, there are other games that are out there that I would rather play. My time for gaming is limited, and so there are a lot of other games to me that easily knock this one out of the way for time at the table. And so, and the best way that I can describe Cubitos up front is, I mean, it's a racing game, and it's a dice pool building game where you're going to be basically adding dice to your pool over the course of the game, rolling them, and hoping that you'll have a face that will show up that they'll be able to activate, use their abilities throughout the course of the game in order to be the first one to get your pawn across the finish line. So, to me, the game feels like it is a mashup of the Quetzalcoatlinburg and the Race for El Dorado and games like Warriors or Dice Settlers. You take all those things, you mix them together, and there you have Cubitos. And so to me, I didn't really feel that there was anything new there. And all of those games that I mentioned are games that I have owned in the past. I have played them, and they are all previously owned because in one way or another, they're either a mechanic that I don't care for, or there's other games that are out there that I would rather play. And that's kind of how I feel about Cubitos. Now, there's really only there's one major negative that I have for this game, and that is the production quality. They give you these tuck boxes, these cheap cardboard tuck boxes that first they're kind of a pain to put together, and then when you use them, they hold the components inside them, and then during the gameplay you take them out and you put them on top of these tuck boxes like a little recessed, like a little tray, and they kind of block the view of the board depending upon where you're sitting when you're trying to play the game. And then sometimes with the tokens, they kind of overflow and they fall out, and I think you probably even might see that during the gameplay video. And the biggest thing is one of the boxes is going to hold like 40 dice, and because it's all the starter dice. And just the sheer weight and the way that the boxes are constructed, you lift it up, the dice fall out all over the place. And I found that out, and it happened to me twice. The second time I forgot, I lifted it up and I had dice go all over, and it took me about 15 minutes to round them all up because I had to move furniture, like tables and stuff like that. And then I'm trying to find them, and they're not very big. So, and they kind of blended in with the floor covering. So I'm like, oh great, I'm going to have a hard time finding these, but I did. Anyways, that's probably the biggest negative. The other thing to me is I just felt like the gameplay was just a lot of nonsensical, just die rolling. It's a lot of pressure luck, and a lot of the dice, there's mostly blank faces on there. So it really kind of pushes that pressure luck element, and pressure luck is not one of the games that I really, really like. So, or one of the mechanics that I don't really like. So that kind of pushes, kind of Cubitos is not going to be something that I'm going to gravitate towards anyways. Now, on the positive note, the game will play quickly because everybody can be doing their die rolling simultaneously. So it's just like Quetzalcoatlinburg, as people are pulling things out of their bag. This is the same way. You can be rolling your dice all at the same time, and then when you're done, you have this little token that you flip from one phase to the next, which is another thing that I think in the video I probably forgot to do it because I was just playing by playing two hands, and I knew when I was going to stop. But anyways, you just keep rolling, and you keep going until you either decide you're going to pass or you bust. So the play is going to move quickly. And the other thing is, in terms of replayability, there are some things that are positive about it. I mean, it comes with two double-sided boards that have like a racetrack that's on there. They're different configurations. So you have 4 different tracks that you can race on. And then there's 8 different types of dice that you can get during the game. And they all have different abilities. Well, each of the dice has like at least 6 or 7 cards that have different abilities that you can use, and you can put them into play. So for example, like the orange orange dice that you use in the game, there's only 2 faces that are on there. The rest of them are blank. But what those faces do is going to be dependent upon what the cards say. And so the cards have different abilities, and they also have different costs. So in one game, the orange dice might be cheap, and they do something, or they can be more expensive and they do something else. And so so it's going to change it up that way. And I did notice that the typically there is like the one dice, the purple dice, and they tend to be very, very expensive. I never even bought one because the ability that was on there was not useful. And on that one, you only have like a 1 in 6 shot of it hitting. So I didn't really think that it was worth the risk and all the money to try to be able to buy it. But again, back to the game, there is a lot of replayability and there is a lot of variety in there. So for people who like Quedlinburg or Race to El Dorado, or if you like the idea of mixing them together, then Cubitos is going to be something that's going to appeal to you. You may not like the price point on it. Like, this is kind of an expensive game considering what you get, but it is something that you may want to check out. So anyways, that's my thoughts on Cubitos. Like I said, unfortunately, it's not in my collection anymore, but you know, not every game is for every person. So, but you're going to want to check out the playthrough, see if it's going to be something that you would like. So I do, like I said, I do have a playthrough coming for that. All right, that's it for the channel news for this week, you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.